Helldovers are going to put this video quickly because Super Earth is going to find out that I'm doing this and then they're going to arrest me for treason and they're going to execute me. Pick a trivial mission on the bug planet and pick any random spot that's on the outside in the around circle where the POI'S can spawn. And then land somewhere, like up at the top, and then go around the outside. Pick orbital laser and then anti-material rifle and then warp pack and then FRV. I'm doing your suggestions you guys put in while also using a bug that's currently out in the game. So this will only be valid until that bug is patched. I'm using an armor that provides me with a higher armor rating and gains me stamina when I take damage. And I'm also using an armor that gives me more chances to survive rather than die. And there's also a light armor, so I'll be able to move faster around this environment. I'm going to be using the variable with this as well on the total setting, so then I can shotgun myself around the map and fling myself if anything happens to my FRV. I've got impact grenades just in case I run out of ammo on my anti-material rifle or something happens to it. The anti-material rifle is going to be used to open the crate doors and to kill enemies as well. Alright, so I landed right next to a POI, so that's good luck on my behalf. And I'm calling down everything at the start. And while I'm at the start, I'm going to look around the map for POIs that I can easily see. But with this map, it's easy because there's one right over there. So while I'm running over to grab this, I'm taking note of where potential spots could be. But because I'm right next to extraction, that's going to make a break in the POIs that are spawning. So I'm going to loop around the entire map. Top to left, to bottom, to right, to top again. Just to make sure. So I'm going to rush over to this POI and the FRV because the FRV is the fastest way of moving. But without the FRV, I have found that actually either the jump pack if you're on a tall hill or the volley mode on the variable is the best way. Now don't be like me and don't prop your FRV right on top of a fire barrel. So you have to be very careful taking it off before you blow it up. And then you drive to the next POI. Now here's where the magic of the anti-material rifle is that you guys pointed out. You should shoot those open with the anti-material rifle. And the anti-material rifle has ammo and can also kill enemies very effectively. And it's not just 4 of them like the impact grenade. Make sure to use that. It's very handy. Thank you guys for putting that out in my comments in my last super credits tutorial. This isn't necessarily a super credits tutorial, but it's also a great way to farm super credits and everything else with it. Now you guys also pointed out doing high difficulties because they have larger maps with more POIs. But the problem with larger difficulties is there's also more enemies and they're more difficult. Also, don't do this and waste your time with a POI that has actually nothing that's interesting in it and you just haven't seen it before, so you're a bit confused, and then eventually have to go back to your FRV. You guys pointed out that doing high difficulties would be better, but I would prefer to do it on a trivial mission where I have basically no risk of losing everything except for my own stupidity, than risking it all just to get a few more super credits. Using that anti-material rifle again on those little hatches, hatch boxes, whatever, the orange and blue things. I don't know, I'm going to call them crates because they kind of look like shipping crates. And we're driving through here while I'm having the map open so I know where I'm going ahead of time. And then I flip over my FRV and this is where the variable comes in. You see this here? That's useless. And there's a distance to travel over there, so I pull out my variable and boom! I got launched further, and that's why I'm combining the 2 armor sets into one so I can get the benefits of the speed and the passive of the higher armor rating. This bug will be patched by the time that this is actually effective, so Arrowhead, don't shoot me. This is literally just me making a tutorial on the fastest way currently as this video comes out. But hey, if you can get the variable volley to work for you without needing an extra armor passive so you don't die every time, that's awesome for you. That is spectacular. Don't land on a hell bomb. I made the mistake of launching myself one time really wrong while trying to record this video and smack bang into a hell bomb. Bang. So don't do that. But yeah, the variable on its volley mode is exceptional for going everywhere, and you can reload it at the bunker, even though I didn't this time for some reason. I tend to do instinctively the crouch thing that I showed in my super credits video, just because when you're also coming into a bunker, you usually tend to come in down the slope, and by that time you're already in front of the button, so it makes it easier. But you can teleport into the bunker facing straight on the door and being in prone. But I've found it to be much more reliable and accurate if I do it from the corner facing in, like how I described. I get it 9 times out of 10, and that only one other time is when I die before I can do it. Now, if you're unfortunate like me, and you get a map where it's basically all weapons and absolutely no super credits, and requisition slips and samples and war bond medals, that sucks. Just keep going and farm the next one. But if you're specifically looking for super samples, honestly, probably still just farm the whole thing just in case. Now, the great thing about going to every POI is that you can pick up more ammo for your variable, so then you can keep using your variable to launch yourself around. And you can use the variable when your armor's injured. Doesn't matter. It just does a little bit more damage. Using that armor that gives me more stamina when I get damaged is probably the best strat of this entire thing. It's just so tactical and handy. So yeah, that's it. That's how quick it took to clear it. It's very easy, very doable, and minimal setup. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.